Hello, my friends. It's Dr. Sharon with Klimek Reviews. Klimek Reviews is a 3-day Nclex prep course for both RNs and LPNs, and I teach Klimek Reviews out primarily in California. Mark Klimek is our founder, and he developed Klimek Reviews probably 30 plus years ago and has been doing these reviews primarily in Ohio. If you want to get a review with him or attend a review with him, your only option is to go to Ohio. So if you're in Ohio already, that's great. If you don't live in Ohio, that's where you'll have to travel to hear him. There are 3-4 other reviewers that do reviews throughout the country. I've interviewed some of them if you want to get to know them a little bit. I do the reviews, like I said, in California, also online. And there's always some questions people have for me. So I wanted to just let you know a little bit more about what Klimek Reviews is. It's not your typical Nclex review course. So let me just tell you a little bit about it. So first of all, it's a 3-day, 8-hour-a-day class, and you get 2 books. Now, one of them you get as a PDF. So the blue book you get as a PDF, and you can print it out yourself. We call it the blue book, even though technically it's not a blue book anymore because we don't hand them out. The yellow book you still get when you come to the class. You get it handed to you. If you take it online, you'll get a PDF, or we can send you a printed copy depending on what your preference is, because the PDF is nice because you can print it as many times as you want to. And some people like to do that because they're kind of neat freaks and they don't like to have any marks on their pages. Anyway, having said that, this is the yellow book, and this is what we go through during the 3-day live review. There are about 35 topics in this book, and these are primarily Nclex strategies. So you do gain some knowledge by filling out the yellow book, but primarily these are strategies for answering questions. Our goal is 3 things when you attend a Klimek review. Our goal is to increase your knowledge, and the second goal is to increase your confidence, and the third goal is to increase your testing ability. So your ability to test well. So those are our 3 goals. And we focus a lot in the live review. We focus a lot on the confidence and the testing. The knowledge portion is primarily through the blue book. The blue book is what we call our question book, but it's not Nclex style questions. These are essentially, almost think of them like flashcards, only it's in the form of a book. So you have the question here, and then you have the answer over here. Currently, we do not sell these books outside of getting them. So you can get them if you come to a review. Currently, we don't sell them any other way. However, you can get the blue book. So let me go here to the website. So here is the website. It's klimekreviews.com. You can actually get a blue book app. So if you get a blue book app, it's going to tell you that there's 2,600 review questions. The review questions are the questions that are in the blue book. So it's those questions and answers. These aren't Nclex style questions. This is knowledge. This is core knowledge that you have to make sure you know in order to pass Nclex. There's a core amount of knowledge that you need to know. And a lot of students waste time learning information they don't need. Like, what is a 3rd-degree heart block? You don't need to know that. You just don't need to know that. And the blue book is the core knowledge. So you may look through the blue book. I think there's 180 topics in it. You may look through it and go, well, I know a lot of this stuff. Well, that's great if you know a lot of that stuff, but there's a lot of it you're not going to remember because you just forgot it. Even if you just graduated 2 months ago, there's some stuff in there that you just forgot. So it's important that you know the blue book. You don't have to get the app if you're coming to a live review, but if you're not attending a live review and you want the blue book, you can get that here. All right. Now, people say to me, well, how can I register? Well, first of all, let me tell you how you can register first time. So if you go to the review dates, you click on that. So here you can see that Pete Savard, who's one of our reviewers, has all of his reviews posted until the end of 2022. And I only have 1, and Mark only has 3. And I tend to post mine kind of later. So I tend to post mine about 2 months before I actually do the review. Pete tends to post his all for the whole year. So just because you don't see my name anymore on here doesn't mean I'm not doing any more reviews. And Trevor's doing more reviews as well. And Mark's doing more reviews. So Pete just tends to kind of post his early. Ours tend to be posted a little bit later. All right. Having said that, what you do, let's say you want to go to my Los Angeles review. Sorry, Los Angeles is spelled incorrectly. I do know how to spell Los Angeles. And you click register. So you can come in here and you'll go, okay, here's the instructor. Here's what you get. Here's the dates. Here's where it's at. Then you get down here to the registration. And a lot of people have this question because they say, well, I only want to pay the $125 deposit. Fine, you can just pay the $125 deposit. And then they say, but how do I do that? Because I only have the option to pay in full. All right, you got to click on paid in full. Then it gives you the options to pay the full or the deposit. Okay, so that's how you pay the deposit. And then you just enter all your information and you'll get the information that you need. Now, that's a live in-person review. If you're taking a live online review, so let's say you're going to take the live online review with Trevor in August, you click on this. And the only option you have is to pay in full. Okay, you can't pay a deposit. So if you click on this, you're not going to get the deposit option. Your only option is to pay in full. And then you'll give them all the information and you'll hit submit. After you hit submit, you get an email that gives you information about the Zoom link, and you have to have a Zoom account and you'll have to register with you'll get an email from us saying, click this Zoom button to register with Zoom. So you register for the review over Zoom. So you've already paid for the review. When you register with Zoom, you're not paying again. You're just registering saying, I want to attend over Zoom. We get that notification. Once you've registered with Zoom, we get that notification and we approve you to enter the class. It's at that point when we approve you that you get the link to the actual Zoom class. So you have to register with us here, then you have to register with Zoom, and then you'll be approved and can attend the class. All right, so that is registering first time. Now, let's say you've already attended a review and you want to attend as a refresher. Refreshers are people who've already paid one time full price. You can attend any review, Klimek review you want for $25. You can attend an online review. You can attend an in-person review. If you attended my review in California and you want to attend a Mark Klimek review in Ohio, you can for $25. Okay, so you can attend as many times as you want to, again, for $25. And you just have to click on the refresher option, and you can go to in-person or online, and you can choose. Let's see, if you hit refresher registration. So this is the page you get, refreshers, and you scroll down and you have to choose the one you want to attend. So it says review you would like to attend as a refresher, and you choose one. You would click on the one you want, and then you would finish registering. All right, so that's how you do refreshers. So I also want to tell you just a little bit about what we teach, because I told you we teach testing strategies, but you may say, well, like what kind of testing strategies? All right, so let me tell you one of my favorite rules that we have. One of my favorite rules that we have is that every time you see the word hyponatremia, you replace that word with overload. The O in hyponatremia goes with the O in overload. And whenever you see the word hypernatremia, you replace that word with the word dehydration. The E in hypernatremia goes with the E in dehydration. This is one of the strategies we use a lot in Klimek Reviews. We say, okay, you've got this word like hyponatremia, and you know that means low sodium, but other than that, you're not quite sure what to do with that word. And they ask you a question about hyponatremia, and you go, okay, I don't know. So what we say is, all right, every time you see hyponatremia, you think, okay, this question is about overload. Every time I see the word hypernatremia, I say, well, this question is about dehydration. So here's a question. A client is admitted to the unit with a diagnosis of syndrome of inappropriate anti-diuretic hormone secretion, SIADH. For which electrolyte abnormality would the nurse be sure to monitor? So here's how you use the rule that I just taught you. So first of all, you say, well, Inappropriate antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic. Diuresis means losing fluid. You're getting rid of fluid, right? Diuresis, losing fluid. So antidiuretic means retaining fluid. So syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone means I'm retaining a lot of fluid, which is the equivalent of overload. Overload. So then it says, which electrolyte abnormality would the nurse be sure to monitor? Well, if I'm not using the rule that I just taught you, where hyponatremia is overload, this question could get pretty confusing. Hypokalemia, hyperkalemia, hyponatremia, hypernatremia. And I go, wait a minute, okay. The potassium moves this way and the sodium moves, and if you're losing this and then you retain, right? And you start trying to remember what you learned in pathophysiology. And you can get yourself all confused. Well, remember, we're teaching you how to pass a test. So we want you to pass a test. We don't want you to necessarily have to remember every single little fact you learned in anatomy and physiology or pathophysiology. So instead, what you say is, well, if they're overloaded, overload goes with hyponatremia. So I'm going to have to pick hyponatremia. And you didn't have to remember anything that you learned about in patho. Now, do we want you to remember what you learned in patho? Well, sure we do. As a nurse, we want you to remember what you learned in patho. But nursing at the bedside is a lot different than taking the test, because nursing at the bedside is a team sport. You get to talk to other people and think about things, and you see all kinds of other data, not just this. And you get to talk to the patient and other nurses and the doctors. And so it's a lot different. Real nursing, like bedside nursing, is different than taking the test. So we want you to learn how to take tests. And so that is an example of one of the testing strategies that we teach you. And all of our testing strategies are similar. So they're not all, if you know this word, remember this word. They're not all like that. We have a few of those. But we've got lots of other strategies that we teach you so that you can test well. So we'd love to have you take a Klimek review. I'd love to see you in Los Angeles or San Diego or Northern California, those places I go. Mark would love to see you in Ohio. Trevor would love to see you online. Right now he's just doing online because the East Coast is still pretty closed up for him. And Pete would love to see you in South Carolina or Florida. He's still trying to get Texas opened up, and he also does online reviews. So we would love to see you. And if you're not able to take one of our reviews, we've still got lots of resources here on our channel to help you pass Nclex. So we wish you all the best. See you soon.